Hey, good morning. Today we continue our daily reading in the book of Joshua, chapter 18. As always, stated prior to reading, get to a church that practices Sunday school or Bible study where the word can be broken down and shared with you for an easier understanding. Also, get with some friends who break bread and just share the word and get some understanding from amongst one another. Get you a Bible that you can read. There are numerous versions from the King James to the NIV, Amplified, ESV. But most importantly, above all the things I have stated, call upon the Lord. If you call and ask Him for wisdom, He will answer you. Knock at His door, and He will open it and fill you with wisdom of His word, if that is what you seek. Amen. Joshua chapter 18 reads as follows. The whole assembly of the Israelites gathered at Shiloh and set up the tent of meeting there. The country was brought under their control, but there were still 7 Israelite tribes who had not yet received their inheritance. So Joshua said to the Israelites, how long will you wait before you begin to take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, has given you? Appoint 3 men from each tribe. I will send them out to make survey of the land and to write a description of it according to the inheritance of each. Then they will return to me. You are to divide the land into 7 parts. Judah is to remain in its territory on the south, and the tribes of Joseph in their territory on the north. After you have written descriptions of the 7 parts of the land, bring them here to me, and I will cast lots for you in the presence of the Lord our God. The Levites, however, do not get a portion among you, because the priestly service of the Lord is their inheritance. And Gad, Reuben, and the half tribe of Manasseh have already received their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan. Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it to them. As the men started on their way to map out the land, Joshua instructed them, go and make a survey of the land and write a description of it. Then return to me, and I will cast lots for you here at Shiloh in the presence of the Lord. So the men left and went through the land. They wrote its description on a scroll, town by town, in 7 parts, and returned to Joshua in the camp at Shiloh. Joshua then cast lots for them in Shiloh in the presence of the Lord, and there he distributed the land of the Israelites according to their tribal divisions. The first lot came up for the tribe of Benjamin according to its clans. Their allotted territory lay between the tribes of Judah and Joseph. On the north side, their boundary began at the Jordan, past the northern slope of Jericho, and headed west into the hill country, coming out at the wilderness of Beth Aven. From there it crossed to the south slope of Luz, that is Bethel, and went down to Tereath Adar on the hills south of Lower Beth Horon. From the hill facing Beth Horon on the south, the boundary turned south along the western side and came out of Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, a town of the people of Judah. This was the western side. The southern side began at the outskirts of Kiriath Jearim on the west, and the boundary came out at the spring of the waters of Nephthath. The boundary went down to the root foot of the hill, facing the valley of Ben Hinnom, north of the valley of Rephaim. It continued down the Hinnom Valley along the southern slope of the Jebusite city and so to En Rogel. And it then curved north, went to En Shemesh, continued to Gilead, which faces the pass of Adummim, and ran down the stone of Bohan, son of Reuben. It continued to the northern slope of Beth Araba, and on the down into the Araba. It then went to the northern slope of Beth Hoglah, and came out at the northern bay of the Dead Sea, at the mouth of the Jordan in the south. This was the southern boundary. The Jordan formed the boundary on the eastern side. These were the boundaries that marked out the inheritance of the class of Benjamin on all sides. The tribe of Benjamin, according to its clans, had the following towns: Jericho, Beth Hoglah, Emek Keziz, Beth Araba, Zerman, Bethel, Avim, Pera, Ophrah, Kephar, Amoni, Ophini, and Geba, 12 towns and their villages. Gibeon, Ramah, Beroth, Mizpah, Gafira, Mozaz, Rekem, Erpil, Terala, Zela, Heleph, and the Jebusite city that is Jerusalem, Gibeah, and Kiriath, 14 towns and their villages. This was the inheritance of Benjamin for its clans. Joshua chapter 19. The second lot came out for the tribe of Simeon according to its clans. The inheritance lay within the territory of Judah. It included Beersheba of Sheba, Moladah, Hazar Shual, Bala, Ezim, Elto, Bethul, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Makerboth, Hazar Susah, Beth Lebaoth, and Sherlan. 13 towns and their villages. And Rimmon, Esther, and Ashan. 4 towns and their villages, and all the villages around these towns as far as Balath Beer, Ramah, and the Negev. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the Simeonites according to its clans. The inheritance of the Simeonites was taken from the share of Judah because Judah's portion was more than they needed. So the Simeonites received their inheritance within the territory of Judah. The third lot came up from Zebulun according to its clans. The boundary of their inheritance went as far as Sarid. Going west, it ran to Marlah, touched Dabosheth, and extended to the ravine near Jocham. It turned east from Sarid toward the sunrise to the territory of Kisloth Tabor, and went on to Debereth and up to Japhia. Then it continued eastward to Gath Hefer and Eth Kazan. It came out at Rimmon and turned toward Neah. There the boundary went around on the north of Hanathon and ended at the valley of Iptah. Included were Ketah, Nahalo, Shimron, Idalah, and Bethlehem. There were 12 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of Zebulun, according to its clans. The fourth lot came out of Issachar, according to its clans. Their territory included Jezreel, Kazuloth, Shunem, Hephaim, Shihon, Anarath, Rabbith, Kishion, Ebez, Rimmeth, En-Ganem, En-Hadah, and Beth Paziz. The boundary touched Tabor, Shekulazah, and Beth Shemesh, and ended at the Jordan. There were 16 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Issachar according to its clans. The fifth lot came out of the tribe of Asher according to its clans. Their territory included Helkath, Hali, Beden, Axphah, Alabalek, Amad, and Mishal. On the west, the boundary touched Carmel and Shehor, Libnath. It then turned east toward Beth Dagon, touched Zebulun in the valley of Iptah El, and went north to Beth Emek and Neiel, passing Kabul on the left. It went to Abdon, Rehob, Hammon, and Kanah, as far as Greater Sidon. The boundary they turned back toward Ramah and went to the fortified city of Tyre, turned toward Hassah, and came out at the Mediterranean Sea in the region of Aksib, Umma, Afek, and Rehob. There were 22 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Asher, according to its clans. The sixth lot came out of Naphtali, according to its clans. Their boundary went from Helapheth and the large tree of Zananimim, passing Adami, Nekeb, and Jebneel, and Lakim, and ending at the Jordan. The boundary ran west through Asnath Tabor and came out at Hukok. It touched Zebulun on the south, Asher on the west, and the Jordan on the east. The fortified towns were Ziddim, Zerhamath, Rakath, Kinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazar, Kadesh, Edrei, and Hazar, Iron, Migdal, El-Horim, Beth-Anath, and Beth-Shemesh. There were 19 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Naphtali according to its clans. The seventh lot came out for the tribe of Dan according to its clans. The territory of their inheritance included Zorah, Estra, Ir, Shemesh, Shalabim, Ejalon, Ithal, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekah, Gibbethon, Baloth, Jihad, Bnei Barak, Goth Ramon, Me, Jacon, and Rakon, with the area facing Joppa. When the territory of the Danites was lost to them, they went up and attacked Lashem, took it, put it on the sword, and occupied it. They settled in Lashem and named it Dan after their ancestor. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Dan according to its clans. When they had finished dividing the lands into its allotted portions, the Israelites gave Joshua son of Nun an inheritance among them. As the Lord had commanded, they gave him the town he asked for, Timnath Serah, in the hill country of Ephraim, and he built up the town and settled there. These are the territories of Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the tribal clans of Israel assigned by lot at Shiloh in the presence of the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting. And so they finished dividing the land. Amen.